So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show upon Rupina's request. I'm going to do a quantum scope before she gets started. That for a couple songs that I had that really inspired her through her journey since I've known her, and I'm excited about that too. It's just really magical stuff that it's really cool stuff. All right, so on to Rupina.
You say that the PM healing journeys were a big part of my healing.
Yeah,
thanks to you, Robby. Yeah, those were. I'm a big believer in frequency music, and that really moved the needle. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're so welcome. And what Rupina's referring to is we do these journeys within AM and PM. We're going to get those back going in September. So it's an on week, off week. It's 9 a.m. for a week, and then 9 p.m. next week. 9 a.m. one week, 9 p.m. next week. So Rupina joined us on the PM. And yeah, thank you, Rupina. And you were the one that inspired me to do it too. So that was created on your behalf. So yeah. Let's go. Now we got this whole thing going now. We're healing frequencies, right? All right, awesome. So Rupina, one thing again, so I think this is like a 6-year journey. I just met you, I think, on the last year of your journey of healing yourself. And I'll just say that like what stuck out to me was your never quit attitude on yourself. You knew that there was like this dot that was going to connect. You fought for yourself. You stood on the front line and never, ever backed down to what you did. The things that you told me when you were by yourself, that you just never allowed yourself to fade inside. And hours and hours sitting in the shower with yourself, right? And just going through that, knowing that there was this last dot that was going to connect, that would put you where you are right now. And you can't make that shit. It's powerful. I got to stop talking so I don't start crying, and we get it going. So without further ado, I'm going to do the quantum scope, and then Rupina will get going. How about that? All right.
Perfect.
Let's go. So I'm going to mute everybody. Had to show up for Rupina. Let's go, Lee. Yeah. Okay. I got to mute everybody really quick. All right, so with these, if you guys have never experienced a quantum scope, they're very similar to Dr. Joe's kaleidoscopes in theory. So what you're going to be doing is staring into the center of it. And what I'd say here is just eye gaze. There's no special instructions. If you have any specific breaths that you like doing, it's really fun to do them during the quantum scopes. You're doing what you normally do with your eyes closed. You do it with your eyes open. So again, just fall into the center of the quantum scope, stare into it like you're staring at a candle, and allow the words to take over, and just allow what we're about to listen to take over as well. Feel the excitement of the story we're about to listen to as you hear these words. So let's make some energy right now.
When God tells you what to do, you cannot hesitate. The ripple effect. The ripple effect. The ripple effect. Let's love and go! I got a question. Who here has been waiting for that spark to ignite that fire that's been burning deep, deep inside of them for a long, long time? Well, guess what? This is that spark. 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 It's time to take that long-awaited journey within to ignite that fire. Allow this energy in the form of music to express itself upon you. Allow the words to open you up so you can feel, so you can heal, so you can be who you truly are. You always knew, you just needed to ignite it, to be reminded. This is the seed of your ripple effect of your truth onto this world. So let's clear all that clutter. Let's collectively reverse engineer ourselves to our ultimate truth. Why we are here, our purpose. Cause we need you. The world needs you. You need you. So what do you want your ripple effect to be on this planet in this lifetime? Wasted moments or divine timing? Tell me. Let's love and go. Let's love and go. Let's love and go. Let's love and go.
Ripple effect spark. 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 Ripple effect spark.
Look at the sun, lay on the earth. Tune into gratitude, breath is the birth. Take a deep breath, open your heart. Remember connection, the moon and the stars. Your heart is your home, the journey we roam. We always come back to the present, the known. Connect with the earth like the roots in the tree. That's a real freedom, the birds and the bees. The ocean, the seas, the fire that burns inside of your soul. It daily turns, a frequency shift. Rewire with strength, inside of a place we were told was it safe. I look at your face, I rip off your mask. Present you with love, then I run off and laugh. Richer the glory, the tougher the task. I'm on the gravel road, my chosen path. In the past, the others left,
but I never cried.
I just tried to figure out what
Felt like truth inside.
goods and bads, the ups and downs.
When they all combine.
Sit and listen, I got stories that will blow your mind. I got stories that will blow your mind. I got stories that will blow your mind.
I got stories that'll blow your mind. So look at me with your honest eyes. When we're living in our hearts, we rise. Let's dance and celebrate our lives. When we're living in our hearts, we rise. Let's dance and celebrate our lives.
Why do we hide from these answers, man? We all dancers, we have rings and we could fly and take chances, man. Why do we run from these problems? Why do we hide from these answers, man? We all dancers, we have wings and we could fly and take chances, man. Why do we run? Why do we run? Why do we run from our problems when we can fly? Why do we run? Why do we run from our problems when we can fly? Why do we run? Why do we run from our problems when we can fly and take chances? So let's dance and go solve them, man. Why do we run? We are one, we can fly away. We are one and we can fly away. We are one and we can fly away. So hold my hand and take a chance and come and fly with me. Won't you please come fly with me? Won't you please come fly with me? Won't you please come fly with me? So hold my hand and take a chance and come and fly with me. Fly away, fly away, fly far away. Fly away, fly away, fly far away. Fly away, fly away, fly far away. Let's fly away, fly away, fly far away. Fly away, fly away, fly far away. Fly away, fly away, fly far away.
Fly away, fly away, fly far away. Fly away, fly away, fly far away. Fly away, fly away, fly far away. When we're living in our hearts, we rise. Let's dance and celebrate our lives. When we're living in our hearts, we rise. Let's dance and celebrate our lives. When we're living in our hearts, we rise. Let's dance and celebrate our lives. When we're living in our hearts, we rise. Let's dance and celebrate our lives. Fly away, fly far away. Fly away, fly away, fly far away. Fly away, fly away, fly far away.
Hey, 31 people in the room. Come on, let's go. Without further ado. Oh, I was unmuted. Shit, sorry about that. The beautiful, divine Rupina. All right, so I'm going to mute everybody. And then I'm going to request to unmute you, Rupina. Ask to unmute you. There you go. All right, let me make sure that you're on the screen speaker. There you go.
Hi. Robbie, first of all, thank you so much for your lion-hearted largesse to host this platform and to give us all a voice and the sacred container to tell our stories. This is a story that I was asked to live, not to keep, but to offer back for our collective healing. So it just still, I'm so grateful to be here, whole, healed, and it just still feels surreal after what felt like a 6.5 year sentence living under the shadow of breast cancer. The mundane has become profound, just simple things like exiting the shower stall and being able to wrap a towel around my body, being able to sink my body in the inviting warmth of an Epsom salt bath, to stretch out like a cat on my stability ball, none of which I could do with an open lesion. So I still have this sense of awe and embodied peace in my body, peace in my choices, and peace in my soul. But it wasn't always this way. In February of 2018, I stumbled across Dr. Joe's work. Prior to that, I had been a seeker following the likes of Eckhart Tolle, Wayne Dyer, Abraham Hicks, etc., etc., etc. And something about Dr. Joe's message just made me want to hit that internal pause. And I just stopped chasing. In fact, I reframed from calling myself a seeker to being a receiver because I just had no more desire to chase after the next new shiny new object or pundit or teacher or whatever. I knew that all the answers resided within. I didn't even know that I was brewing breast cancer at the time, but my body's innate intelligence nudged me to this work because it knew I would need it. So one fine day, I discovered this lump in my breast, and I wasn't at all fearful because I was falsely seduced by my functional medicine pedigree and protocols that I got this. And then a few months later, the lump became this exogenous pink cyst that showed up on the side. And I was like, what the heck is this? But I still felt like, oh, I got this, you know. I was already puritanical about my diet, organic, everything made from scratch, sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, lectin-free, you name it. I was doing it. I mean, just unwavering about my macros, using movement as medicine, infrared saunas, juicing. I mean, I did it all. And yet it persisted. And then one fine day, the cyst opened up and became this open wound, like a shark literally bit off most of my tissue and left it bleeding and oozing. And it left me absolutely baffled and horrified. And I resisted seeking conventional medicine because I had been burned in the past. I had 2 other dark nights of the soul. I had a one-time seizure that was directly caused from taking too many different pharmacology medications. My sister is a medical doctor. She had prescribed allergy meds, and I was taking that on top of Sudafed, which literally has on the side of the box that it may cause seizure. So I had a one-time seizure, and they never figured out why it happened, but I figured it was because of the interaction of the different meds, and that was my first radical awakening. And I shifted from saying, when the symptoms arose, I shifted from saying, what can I take, to what is my body trying to tell me, and started to just look within for answers. Then I had another brief stint with cervical cancer. It was actually cervical dysplasia, stage 0, stage 1. That time I was still an MBA in the corporate world, no clue about nutrition and functional medicine. So I did whatever the doctors asked me to do. It was snip, snip, easy peasy lemon squeezy, and all done. Till 13 years later, this diagnosis came. Apparently, my soul had a very ambitious curriculum, right, at the PhD level. And I knew that this was asking something deeper of me, that this was not just going to be just a snip, snip, remove it, and that's it. I just knew that I was being called to do the hard work. And there were nights that I was stripped bare to my knees and brought down in a way that I wouldn't wish for anyone. Yet I wouldn't, I wouldn't, I would never take them back. Because when we're in a dark place, we feel we're being buried, but we're actually being planted. And this cracked me open to truths that my functional medicine and nutrition could never uncover, because it wasn't about what I was eating and what I was consuming on my plate. It was about what I was consuming at the consciousness level. My breast cancer wasn't some misfortune that I had to fix. I knew it was a sacred initiation and my greatest teacher. And I'd always believed that the wound is where the light enters, right? I trusted at a bone deep level that the divine doesn't just dwell in sunsets and synchronicities, but it exists in the places that we're most afraid to look. In ruptures, in scar tissue, in my stinky, bleeding lesion. In fact, for many years, my lesion actually looked like a butterfly. It had a butterfly-like shape. And I would see hearts etched in the tissue. Many times I would remove the dressing, and in the bloody dressing, there was hearts. So I knew that the divine existed in all things. And I started looking at my lesion, not as a sign of brokenness, but as a living altar. And I knew it was guiding me home. Then came the moment that changed everything. I was in the shower, my sanctuary. I like to take long showers. I had the 528 hertz pulsing through my Bluetooth. I had my frankincense and sandalwood essential oils going on the diffuser. Steam cocooned me. But that day, peace was nowhere to be found. I looked down, blood everywhere. There was a red sea spiraling around my heels. I couldn't exit the shower stall, or it would have looked like a crime scene. So I stood there, naked, shaking, heart pounding. For 77 minutes, it bled and bled and bled. I recited ancient mantras and names for gods that I had forgotten. Finally, when I was able to exit and it stopped, I held my own trembling gaze in the foggy mirror and I said, "Okay, I hear you." And in that moment, I wasn't just bleeding, I was breaking open. The illusion of control dissolved. In that moment, I was forced to put down all my masks, all my narratives, my stories, my expectations, and just allow something else to work through me. Later, in a few days, I was in the bathroom again, book in hand, and as if on cue, Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love, opened to this page, to this single piercing sentence: God's plan will work, yours will not. That message hit with the electricity of thunder, and I wept, not out of defeat, but release. I knew I was being asked to surrender, not to illness, but to a path that was beyond my own construction. I had so carefully curated my own natural healing journey, but now I was being asked that the divine doesn't just exist in one modality. Healing doesn't just have to come from nutrition and meditation, but it can come in different modalities. And love doesn't always look the way we expect. And control isn't the same as trust. For so long, I've been choosing from fear of getting wounded, fear of betrayal, fear of giving up control. But in that moment, I made a different choice. I chose love over fear, not just emotionally, but practically. I said yes to what I'd long resisted. I said yes to surgery, to conventional medicine, to antibiotics. And to my surprise, the divine showed up there too. I met my breast surgeon in April of 2024, and it took me an entire year to lower the massive volume of resistance that I had to surgery. But when I met her, I just knew that she was the gal, right? Like, she didn't chastise me. She didn't say, why did you wait for 6 years? Why didn't you do it? She just said, Rupina, you're so healthy. You're so vibrant. Let's get this fixed. Let's do this. Let's get this fixed. And I just walked out of there on wings. And then my resistance returned. And it took me a whole year till I had the surgery in April of 2025. But when I had it, at that time, I had completely surrendered. When I was in the operating room, the surgeons came and met me. I didn't have any fear. I smiled. I said, I implicitly trust you, because I knew it wasn't her, both the surgeons. It was God's hands working through them. And I just laid down the righteousness, the rules, the rigidity, the my way or no way mindset that wasn't serving me. I used to croon Frankie's My Way in the shower all the time, but that wasn't the divine plan. It wasn't my way. It was humbling, but holy. And just 2 weeks past post-surgery, my surgeon bounded into the room, beaming. She hugged me. And she's like, did you see the fantastic pathology report? I hadn't. They hadn't released it. And my controlling mind just said, all right, you'll see it when you see it. There's no reason to see it before. She's like, all margins are clear. I don't need to see you for 6 months. And I was like, what? She never even talked about radiation, chemo, all of that, because she had told me, Rupina, I said, let's not go there, because that's not something I'm open to right now. I'm only open to surgery. And it just never happened. She's like, you're good. I walked to the car in a daze. I sat down. I opened the path report and I sobbed. The kind of sob that unravels lifetimes. The truth is that my ego had been in the driver's seat for all these years, saying, I got this, I got this. But it grace didn't flow till I realized I don't have to.
Rupina, I haven't stopped crying since you've been talking. This is so powerful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The divine met me at the depth of my surrender, not at the height of my struggle. And here's the truth. I'd waited for a mystical healing for 6.5 years, but I'd been gripping so tightly as to how healing should look. It has to be a mystical moment. It has to be meditation. I expected a flash of white light or the blue beings descending down on the Marco Island ballroom, or them showing up in my dream and somehow it making some sense. My miracle did happen, just not in the way I expected. See, most women, when they're diagnosed with breast cancer, they're immediately hauled to remove the mass, and there is massive urgency, right? But to me, that kind of felt akin to removing the leaves off a diseased tree and leaving the rotting root in there. So I worked from the inside out. As Robby said, surgery was reverse engineering, but it's the last step because I had already done all the work, right? I knew that my core emotion was woundedness. So the universe gifted me with this giant wound to remind me of my power, and that if I could wound myself, I could unwound myself as well. And so I worked from the inside out through nutrition, meditation, and then the surgery was the final step that my body required. And once I did that, boom, it returned to homeostasis, just like that. It was incredible. So after this very long, non-linear spiral dance between strength and surrender, I've learned some lessons along the way, and I thought it may be helpful to share them and impart them to any of you going through your impossible situation. As our beloved Dr. Joe says, we're all facing great opportunities brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. And this was my impossible situation. So the first lesson is to treat myself like someone I loved, right? True healing is not just the return of physical health, but it's the sparkling, wholehearted embrace of ourselves. I started holding myself like I would my fur baby, with no judgment, just unconditional love. I realized that my self-talk was the signal, and every word of my inner dialogue was creating the frequency telling source what to deliver. I focused less on macros and more on rewriting my inner script. Infinitely more nourishing than any meal, precision crafted with the optimal macros, let me tell you. I started choosing love over fear repeatedly, again and again, because for so long I've been choosing from fear. Fear of getting wounded, fear of betrayal, fear of giving up control. I think, as Einstein said, the most primordial question we humans can ask ourselves is, do we live in a friendly or a hostile universe? And somewhere along the road, being a single gal, I had picked up this erroneous belief that it's not safe, that we live in this hostile universe. And my immune system had eavesdropped on that belief and manifested the disease chemistry and the immune dysfunction that I suffered with all my life. But in that moment, I chose different. I chose love over fear repeatedly. Not just emotionally, but practically, not just when I did good, but when I was scared shitless, in the shower, bleeding. And love doesn't always look like we expect. It can hide in a surgical suite. Wholeness is embedded in our blueprint. It is our birthright. It was never missing. It was just hiding behind all the trying. I didn't need to become whole. I needed to remember I already was. True healing is the reclamation of the parts of ourselves that we've rejected, the broken, shameful, bloody, stinky parts in my case. Wholeness isn't perfection, it's integration without polarity, welcoming the medicine and the mystical, the surrender and the science, the data and the divine. I realized I didn't have to choose between these different paths. The divine existed in all things. And I didn't have to choose one or the other. And finally, healing calls for radical honesty. We humanoids, we're not just made of cells. We are made of stories. And we have to have the radical honesty to listen, not just with our ears, but with our hearts, to the stories that our cells are whispering, and have the courage to rewrite them with kindness and wonder. Because we are spiritual beings having this human existence. And it's an exquisite combination of body, mind, and spirit. And healing must encompass not just our symptoms, but our soul, not just our cells, but our stories. We have to listen for the subtle threads that stitch emotion, biology, and belief into the tapestry of our well being. And like I said, when I started, I'll conclude with that. Speaking of stories, this was the one that I was asked to live, not to keep, but to offer it back for the collective healing. So I'd like to conclude Navi style. If you've seen Avatar, the Navis say, I see you instead of I love you, because I see you means I see all of you. I see your light, I see your shadows, I see your fragility, I see your wounds, and I don't judge you, right? Just as I see myself and I don't judge myself anymore. And if you're navigating a health scare or you're in the thick of it, or it's you or a loved one, I want to remind you that you are not alone. You are not broken. Your symptoms are messengers. Healing is absolutely possible. Wholeness is your birthright. And your comeback is already waiting for you. Thank you so much for listening with such heart. And I'd like to now open it up for any questions you may have.
Oh, wow. Rupina, side note, Jackson joined me for the first time on a call with
Oh
me.
my gosh,
Yeah.
thank you. And I saw Karen, I saw your little fur baby, which just lifted me up.
So great. So if any, thank you. Wow. I didn't literally haven't stopped crying. um, oh, you got to write a book that you already, that's a book. Like seriously, how you
That is a
presented
book.
that, the
That is a
structure of
book.
it, the purpose of it, just do whatever you want to do, but you should share that in book format because that was incredible.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow. Okay. So, anybody, all right, let me, whew, that was powerful, Rupina. Al, I'm going to read the comments. So if anybody has anything they'd like to share, question, comment, please, again, no pressure. Just if you have anything to say, put your emoji hand up. So woohoo from Lynn. um, Lori Beatty, thank you. Okay, here we go. I had to show up for Rupina from Lee. Karen, that was incredible. Love those quantum scope. Thank you, Karen. Rosa, 3 hearts. I said I can't stop crying. Lori Beatty said me too. Rachel, wow, I've got goosebumps. This was amazing. Lee, big heart. Abier, wow. Sherry, so powerful. Lori, sorry, powerful and so wise. Yeah, and so wise. Like seriously, ooh, you are a great speaker, Rupina. Angela or crying big tears. Or sorry, Angela Dutton, crying big tears and feeling so much love from Kate. Rupina, thank you for sharing your journey. Your wisdom and love shine so bright. From Karen, beautifully said. Thank you for sharing this journey. And Lynn.
Rupina, there are no words. Your strength, your grace during this whole journey, all that you have shared with us, and consistently showing up for yourself over and over and over again. When when Robby started the journey so long ago, and just how blessed and grateful I am having you in my life, in all of our lives, the strength that you are, the wisdom that you are, the allowing. We can do things our way, feeling and thinking that this is the only way, and the ways that you so beautifully opened up your mind and opened up your heart and dealt with everything, and how all was delivered to you, the surgeon, the medical team, your trust within all of that, because you had gotten to that place within yourself. Like you said, Dr. Joe was delivered to you for this time, like to be medicine as well. All that you've done over the years, medicine and this as well. And I feel that this is so powerful too, because in this community, we can believe it's either or. We can have that thought, that belief system that it's either or. And I do feel that and is what you're bringing forth too. And I'm just so blessed and grateful. And I'm also grateful that you have this in a blog that you shared a little while ago, because I can go back and, we can share it with so many people, and to go back and reread it and relive this. And Robbie, that you've recorded this so that we can re-listen. But Rupina, I have so much gratitude and respect and love for you. Thank you so much. And
Thank you
Rob,
so much, Lynn. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I think there's this illusion in Dr. Joe's community, right? And I mean, who doesn't want a mystical healing, right? Who doesn't want that mystical moment? But it's when we grip so tightly and decide that this is how it's going to happen. Well, that's that. I mean, for me, that wasn't part of God's plan, right? It was something else. But I mean, it all led up to it.
Yep. Yeah, and sorry, Rupina.
Yeah, it all led up to it. And I forgot to say at the end that, I'm sharing this because I alchemized my impossible wound into wisdom. And I'm here as your mirror to reflect your limitless nature, right? And to stir something in you for those of you who are still in the midst of your healing journey.
Let's go, Rupina. Yeah, guys, there's we're all we're all at different points within the process of what we're going through, and there's multiple answers to everything, right? And I just love listening to you talk. All these, you have such great quotes, but the quotes come from the energy inside of you, and the way that it comes out is how you formulate your quotes. It's just so powerful, but it's all true, right? It's all coming from within. Really impactful. On that note, thank you, Lynn. Abier just said, like, speaking of quotes, what she wrote was exactly what I felt and how you express yourself. This is beyond incredible. Thank you, Rupina, for opening up in such a raw and real way that allows us to see the truth and hear the wisdom of the cells as you gave each cell a microphone. Ooh, and that's, what's so funny is that's what I was thinking too. You were doing you weren't giving the microphone on the opposite end. You weren't allowing a voice and things that didn't deserve, I won't say deserve because that's a negative word, but, and beautiful delivery. Yeah, there you go. From Mary Love. Thank you, dearest Rupina, from my heart to your beautiful heart. Much love always. Thank you so much, Rupina. Your sharing of your story is a blessing for all of us who hear it. Many pearls of hard-won wisdom. Thank you again. Thank you, Robbie, for this amazing platform where this inspiring journey can be shared. That's from Leela. From T.A. Clark, came in at the tail end. Hey, you're 31, all good. Came in at the tail end, but we'll watch the replay. Yeah, this will definitely be available. So you didn't miss it. You're gonna get it. Dor, I know you always got something to say. I want to hear your marination. And before or actually go, yeah, never mind. I'll say something after.
Rupina, I love you. And I love our relationship that we've been able to garner, off screen. And I just what's really striking me right now is the journey and how difficult, how many shower moments I've had where I'm just knocked to my knees. If I could fall to my knees, I'd be knocked to my knees, and I have been many, many times. And I think the thing that is running through my head right now is judgment and the internal language, the internal script that we play, and just the programming of that, and how it is so natural to think negative thoughts of ourselves or of the process. I found Dr. Joe in 2019, went to my first event in 2020 or 2019 December. And I've had a lot of belief and a lot of falling off the wagon and then getting back on the wagon, falling off the wagon, get back on the wagon. And I appreciate what you say about, I love that quote about the divine met me at the depth of my surrender, not the height of my struggle. And I think that's so prominent in my language in my brain, is that struggle language, because it's been so long. So I guess, I mean, we've kind of talked about this, but can you put it into words again of your overcoming of the judgment of yourself, the mistrust of yourself? That's what I'm ruminating on right now.
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, that was one of the big enigmas for me, right? Because I didn't grow up resisting conventional medicine. I trusted it. My sister is a medical doctor, and I used to pop a pill for an ail, just like most people, till it actually started brewing disease, right? Like I was put on acid blockers when I was 25. I was incorrectly diagnosed with GERD. And now that I know everything that I know about the microbiome and that 80% of the immune system resides in the gut, I mean, that decimated my gut. That's what caused the immune dysregulation. That's what caused cancer in the first place. But nobody had any answers. I kept asking my sister, like, why do I keep having flu-like symptoms every few months? She's like, oh, you're stressed. No, that wasn't it. It all stemmed from the microbiome. So I didn't know all of this. And that's why I took a radical left turn. I left the corporate world and my MBA career, and I studied functional medicine and nutrition like my life depended on it. And I had to learn to become a health advocate. And then this time around with this diagnosis, I was asked to put all of that down, put down all of that judgment against doctors and all of that, and embrace it. And when I was in the hospital, I received nothing but love. I mean, even this breast surgeon, I had asked, in fact, I was telling one of the other docs that she truly treated me as a collaborative partner, and that I had sovereignty and I had choice with what to do with my body. Like I said, she brought up chemo. I said, that's not something that I'm open to. That's not something that I would do for my body. And she's like, I respect your decision. So it wasn't like do as I say and not giving me my sovereignty. So I think it's just like, and we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. And I had so much judgment. Oh my gosh, I've even healed my fractured relationship with my sister, because she told me all along, Rupina, something like this isn't going to close on its own. And I said, well, that's your opinion. Thanks very much. But I'm going to keep doing my epigenetics and meditation. She's like, whatever you're doing, Rupina, is working, right? Clear. I had no metastases in six and a half years. Cancer doesn't just sit there and not grow. It is biologically primed to grow. I didn't even have it in the lymph nodes. So something was clearly working, but my body was just begging to remove that necrotic burden, right, through surgery. And then once the surgery happened, boom, I returned to homeostasis. So it was a very winding journey, and I just had to trust again and put down that resistance. And like I said, it took me a whole year from April 2024 to 2025 till I acquiesced to the surgery and said yes. And I know for sure that had I gone in with a punitive mindset, thinking that, gosh, I meditated for 6.5 years and now I'm being asked to cut off a body part. And if I felt like a victim, and if I felt like, in defeat, then I wouldn't have had the outcome that I did. But I just knew that it was happening for me, not to me. And I just surrendered, and I surrendered some more, and then some more, and then some more. Does that help, Dor?
Yeah, it's all, I feel you. I feel the whole process, and I feel what you've gone through, and so thank you. Yes, that helps a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, Thor. And to go off that conversation, Rupina, you did mention something just now that I know you mentioned to me in the past, was all the stuff that you were doing was helping you at the same time, like
Yes.
the healthiness, because when you recovered, you were like,
Yeah, it
like,
was,
whoa, you're
yeah,
fucking healthy.
yeah, exactly. My sister, she couldn't believe me. 2 weeks post-surgery, she's like, did you just have surgery? Did you just have major surgery? She's like, you don't look like you did have surgery. It's
Yeah,
like, what is going on?
yeah. Um, and so there's Lynn. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to read these comments, and then we'll go back to Lynn. So from Angelica, beautiful name. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I had goosebumps and tears as I listened, like many others shared. Seriously. From Carolina, have to go. Thanks all. Have a great Sunday and set your week full of self love. Well, thank you for that. I'm not here anymore, but thank you. Um, from Abier, thank you, Robby, for inviting me to this fabulous event. Instant love and connection. We are all mirrors for one another. Thank you for taking the time to adjust the mirror even more closely to capture our oneness today. Now, here, collectively focused. Love, 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 love. Let's go. From Teresia, Rupina, in all bold. Incredible. Wow. Your story is absolutely breathtaking. You are such a brilliant storyteller, and the way you share your healing journey is truly uplifting. It will give so many people hope and light. I am filled with love for you. Amen, Rupina. Amen, Teresia. To Rupina. From Miguel. Thank you, Rupina, for your wisdom, vulnerability, and your willingness to share such intimate parts of your journey. As always, big hugs. Yeah. Let's go, Miguel. Thank you, Robby, for bringing us all together. Big hugs to you as well. Thank you, Miguel. Big hug to you. I love you and miss you all. From Karen, it's all about the mindset. Yeah, and before I go to you, Lynn, I just want to go off of that. Thanks, Karen, for saying that. It's all about the mindset. You surrendered. You didn't give in or give up. Give up on love. Give up. Love this. Thank you, Karen. So, like, one thing I wanted to mention in 2015, I got deviated septum surgery. So my whole life since like second grade, I was getting bronchitis and pneumonia anytime the wind blew. I thought that was a common cold. Like I didn't know what it was because I got hit with a ground ball in second grade, and I think we just put ice on it, and I got bacteria sitting in my face in second grade. When I had this surgery, I haven't been sick since this surgery. So there's other things that I also went through in life. This is a side note, but this. So I do question, like from that point, it gave me this platform to learn about the body, to understand germ theory, to really know what can make you sick and what cannot make you sick, and who makes are you making you sick, whatever, all this good stuff. And then so it's very like I don't question, I just wonder, would I be where I am right now if I didn't have that surgery? Having said that, I have gone through other things where my mind has reverse engineered it, right? But this is like, I don't know if I would be where I am, but that gave me this platform, kind of where Rupina's starting it with herself right now, where like she just said, like when she connected that last dot, she's like this healthy human being. Like the doctors were blown away, like because she was doing all the other stuff. So yeah, just be very open minded. Like Wim Hof, he could drink battery acid and not be sick. It's mind over matter, right? So it's just the understanding that you are in control, but at the same time, it's God's work, right? So beautiful stuff. Thank you again, Rupina. So Lynn.
And
Ooh,
I
sorry.
forgot real quick,
Yeah.
this was a rock that I found just random, like while walking. Like, I mean, I've seen like little heart-shaped things that I've kept
Hmm.
like throughout my journey. I mean, this was in out of nowhere, like this red-shaped rock painted
Hmm.
with love. I mean, the divine is everywhere, right? And I kept telling myself, but I still kept chasing that mystical moment, right? And it wasn't going to come in that way. It was through all these different synchronicities and signs. And so if one of you is out there just wondering why you haven't had the mystical moment, maybe you've already had it, right? Maybe this is the mystical moment, or maybe it's just not going to come in the way you expected. That was my point. Sorry, Lynn. Please go
No,
for it.
not at all. And I love that too, because you reminded me, Rapina, of another piece where, life is unexpected, right? Love is unexpected. And when we meet our partner, we never know where that's going to be, where a job's going to be, where look at our blessed, beloved community, how we have all come together. Just there's so much that is unexpected, but in our finite minds, in that concrete way, we feel it has to be. We think it has to be a certain way. So it was just a beautiful reminder of that as well. And what I was going to share, Robbie, you basically brought it up again with Wim Hof in one of our groups. And Rupina, this, it, reminded me of it when you were stating about the medication you were on and how that messed up your gut. And I was just listening prior to this journey. I believe it was Mary Claire, maybe Karen, but I think it was Mary Claire who placed in one of our WhatsApp groups an interview, Wim Hof being interviewed by Jay Shetty, and how, so much is rooted in inflammation and the breath work. So if that's not in this group, I'll pop it in here so that, because I just found it's a short interview, but it was like, yeah, man, we have to do this every day to reduce that inflammation, clear the brain, get rid of the toxins. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean, and Dr. Joe says that just meditation raises SIG-A, secretory immunoglobulin A, which is your first line of defense, your main immunoglobulin in the intestinal mucosa that covers your immunity. And just from doing a Go Love, they measured it I don't know what it's like 50% raise in SIG-A just from a 15-minute meditation. So we are so blessed to have all of these tools. And I now actually go after my meditation. I mean, it's like I never miss a day because it's just like, it's not out of fear. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what's going to sustain that frequency, right? Because our job is to just stay in that frequency.
Yep. Let's go. All right, Big Vec, what is up? Oh, you're muted. Oh, you're unmuted.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
What's up?
Hey, I'm kind of like in the middle of like walking, but I just had to hop on. First off, I just wanted to say, Rupina, man, just hearing what you were telling me before, it really hit my heart, and it hit something deep, because I'm pretty sure you can attest to this. I know I only came in like at the tail end of this, but when I was doing the work and I was seeing evidence of myself being healed through it, I kind of, for some reason, I had this belief that this was the only thing that I had to do. And I kept not sure if I mentioned this before, but one of my favorite meditations I love to do is synchronizing the health. And at the end, he has you he has you tune into like healing and wholeness, and then afterwards an opportunity. Whenever I tune into an opportunity, I always felt like I was I was trying to put the divine in a box, if that makes sense. And I was like, oh, this opportunity must be another week long. It must be a AFU or a co-heal or like something like that, rather than it could be something like myofascial release for like my condition. And I recently just came back from that, and just like hearing what you were saying, how you were also getting like other treatments on top of the work, and how that's helped you tremendously. Synchronistically, it's just funny because I recently just hit my own milestone and releasing stuff in my muscles that needed to be released because I added something in that was complementary to the work.
Let's go. It's 11:11, and there's 22 people in the room when you said that. Just wanted to say that. All right.
Awesome. Yeah. So I just thought I just thought the timing was just like perfect, because I'm just hearing your story and just like thinking about like where I am, like, wow, it's just crazy how it happens. I just want to just say thank you.
Thank you, Vec. Yeah, indeed. I think a lot of us in the community feel that it has to come through meditation and a mystical moment. And that's why I felt compelled to share this, right? Because it's not going to come in the way we expected.
Mm-hmm. I want to share something on that. So look at it like there's no such thing as cold turkey, right? So and I'm going to use that example directly or indirectly, right? So when you see someone that quit smoking, they say they did cold turkey, they don't realize the work they did behind it, right? When they show up, oh, they did it cold turkey. Same thing with the meditation, right? When you see someone having a mystical experience, there's a lot of work that went on in the background, direct or indirect, whatever their life started as. Like you hear Teresia's story, she was staring in her one of her guide's eyes at 5, right? Like that's deep stuff, right? And there's just a different platform for everybody. So it's, again, when you see these miracles that are happening at a Dr. Joe retreat, from my experience, there's a lot of things that are going on in the back end to have all the mind, body, soul dots connect, be in line for that moment, for that person. So again, there's so many ways to get to that point, which is what I just said, which is what Rupina just shared, which is just what you just shared. Like, so yeah, thanks for, and then also on that note, before I forget, David Johnson had a Sunday journey as well, and he cured his body of cancer. And in one of the he did it twice. And one of them, he used chemo, and he wrapped every cell with love, right? So it's mind over matter, and it's leaving it up to God, and your belief system is very strong, right? Yeah, thanks for saying that. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just want to reiterate that at this point, I'm agnostic as to whatever healing path somebody chooses, right? Because it doesn't really matter whether you go with surgery, chemo, radiation, medicine, meditation, whatever, as long as you choose that path with love and not fear, right? Because if you're going to choose something out of fear, it's going to have its outcome in fear, and it will continue to perpetuate that legacy of fear. But if you choose it, that's why I didn't choose surgery. My sister kept saying, I just wish you had done it earlier. And I said, you know what? It happened in divine timing. Yep. Had I done it earlier and had I gone into it feeling like a victim, feeling like this is punitive, it wouldn't have yielded the outcome that happened, right? So take all the time that you need if you are having resistance to a particular treatment. And when you're ready, then you'll know it'll happen in divine timing.
And that we got to end. Yeah, we got to end on that statement you just made right there. That was powerful because that wrapped the whole entire conversation of everything you just said. And Angela Dutton just wrote boom. So she felt the same way as I did. It's like, oh, fork drop.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was incredible. So I do want to make sure if anybody does have anything to say, please know the floor is yours. But I thought that was an incredible way to end the call because you really tied it with a bow right there. Somebody else wrote something.
Just thank you, Rupina. Thank you so much.
Peter.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Peter. All right, guys, what an amazing, incredible call. Again, the wave is powerful. So our next guest is going to be Rachel, who I think is on the call. We are going to take a couple weeks of a break. Yeah, there you are, Rachel. How you doing? So Rachel has shared our group in the Dot Connectors group. She shared her testimonial, just got put up on the website for Dr. Joe. I'll share it in the Sunday feed, but check it out. Date to be determined. My birthday. I'm doing stuff with my family next week, and then after that, maybe we'll do it like the weekend after Thor or the weekend before Thor's 5K. That's where I think it'll fall. But that's Labor Day weekend, so we'll see how we map it all out. But yeah, Rachel will be the next guest. We got 4 weeks of power that you guys can fall into whenever you're just looking for something to hear. Just know these 4 stories right here they will guide you back to your center. So again, Rupina, yeah, thank you. That was so incredible.
Thank you. Thank you for creating the sacred space for us to speak our truth.
You're so welcome. This is unstoppable, right? It's so great. Yeah, feel it, drink it up, soak in it, marinate in it, eat it, whatever. This is all here for you to have this energy. It's all real. It's all truth. These stories are not rarities, right? They are the truth. So thank you, Rupina. All right, guys.
Absolutely.
And do you want to close it out on anything? Anything you want to say to close it out, or are you all closed out?
I just want to say your comeback story is already within you for those of you who are still on this healing journey, and just know that it's all happening for you, not to you.
X, let's go. See if
Woohoo!
yeah.
You did it, Rupina. You're such an inspiration. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. I love you guys. Great to see
Thank
everybody.
you.
Enjoy
Love you
today and soak into this energy. This is the truth here. Let this marinate inside of your heart for a little bit. It's powerful. Whew. All right, guys. Have a
Thank
beautiful
you
day.
so much.
Love you. Thank
Love
you
you
again.
all.
you.
Rupina Meer.
Much love, everyone.
Yay.
Bye.
Love you guys.
All right.